If you're still using ChatGPT for research, you're missing out on what I think is the ultimate AI research workflow. By combining Perplexity with NotebookLM, you can do faster research, get better insights, and actually create finished products like blog posts and presentations directly from the research provided. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this workflow works and show you some really powerful examples of what you can do with it. It's no secret that Perplexity is absolutely incredible at research. In fact, I believe it's the best AI research tool that's available on the market right now. It does real-time web searches, it pulls from multiple sources, and has inline citations so you can fact-check every response that it sends you. But to be honest, that is really all I find it's good for. I just don't find it that good at organizing or analyzing information or creating anything with it. But NotebookLM, on the other hand, that's what it excels at. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed research from Perplexity into NotebookLM and get some incredible results. So for this example, we're going to be using the age-old debate: what is the best no-code tool for business automation, Make.com or N8N? And we're going to pretend we're having to produce a presentation where we go and we speak about which one is the best. Now, inside of Perplexity, we have a few options. As a standard search, it will give you fast answers, it will give you quick answers to information, a little bit like a normal LLM would. But with deep research, it allows us to dig deeper. And when we're trying to create a presentation, of course, that is what we're going to want to do. But there is also one other extremely important element here, and it's this little globe. This globe gives us the option to set the sources that we actually search from. So we have the web. We obviously want to search the web for this info. But then we have 4 core individual options. Social, academic, finance. If anything finance related, you might want to tick it. If you're a student and you were doing something that was for your degree or whatever, you might want to select academic. When it comes down to social, though, for us, that's quite important because we want to understand the general consensus for this presentation. So we tick that, and that opens up the boxes now for Perplexity to be able to go and search socials for debates and opinions around this exact topic and deep research them. You can connect third-party tools such as I've got here, Google Drive and Slack. They're my own personal Google Drive and Slack. But for this case, we don't need it, and we just hit go. We get to see the amazing power of what this actually has, okay? So we have the in-depth research analysis. It then tells you it's thinking, I'll search the web. Searching the web for latest comparisons, features, or pricing. Then it lets Perplexity do a deep analysis on all of this. It breaks your question into sub-questions. You can see them. So it starts with quite basic questions, Make.com, no-code tool preferences. It then goes into actual specifics, Make.com versus N8N comparisons, pricing plans, which is an important thing to do to showcase in a presentation. It shows real-time sources being reviewed and builds a comprehensive report off the back of it. You'll see here Nick Sarayev, big in the AI space. His opinion counts, so it's reviewing it as a source because we selected socials. We've then got Softailed, which is given these pieces of sources that have been reviewed. We'll get to select our sources at the end, but as we go through this, we want to see this. Now, exploring N8N self-hosting costs, investigating N8N's latest features, etc. Question after question after question, like Lego blocks, it is building as an answer. And now it has completed that. And this is what is called an executive summary. If you click this little box here, it will show you the 10 steps that it completed. So you can go back and have a look at what each individual section, where it was driven from and where it pulled the information from, which is the beautiful thing. But the best thing about Perplexity and what makes it so powerful is the fact that you have individual citations that are within the executive summary. So it scanned a whole host of sources. It picked the best ones for our question. And then it gives us an executive summary that not only explains it, so this here gives, because it understands a little bit about me, it's saying given my technical background running a PPC agency, etc., which is great. But the fundamental architectural divide, this is perfect. This is top level stuff. So if we click on the citations here, okay, we can see them. Now this is where NotebookLM steps in as a powerhouse, okay? Because if we take a look at NotebookLM, head over to notebooklm.google, hit try NotebookLM. It's completely free. We hit create a new notebook, and inside of here we have some options. This is effectively what we've just done with Perplexity, but just nowhere near as good, so we skip over that. here, where we upload files, we can upload files, we can use websites, which is what we're going to be using, we can connect to Google Drive, or we can copy in text, okay? So we want to hit websites here, and then we want to go back to Perplexity, and which one was it? There we are. We want to go back to Perplexity, and we want to pick these citations that best match. We have to review this first. We want to make sure that everything that it's pulled is credible. It is AI at the end of the day. You always want to check. But looking at this and trusting Perplexity the way I do, it's almost always bang on the money. So we come through and we select a couple of these high-level stuff. N8N versus Make.com comparison. This is perfect. So I'm going to take this URL and I'm going to stick it inside of my notebook. Cool little trick here, cool little trick. Just press space. You don't need to add one URL, then another, then another. You literally just have to go through that. So we select that one. Let's have a look at what the other one was at this top level. Yeah, I think we should put this one in as well because this is another third-party review of which one's best. And we stick that in our notebook. Now, I'm going to quickly grab a few more. Let's have a look. Where are we? The fundamental, we've got the fundamentals down, so let's have a look at this. Make.com pricing, let's take that. And then to counterbalance that, when we look at the other Make.com pricing and hidden costs, let's scroll on the hidden trap, N8N model, Lindy. N8N pricing. Let's get this to keep it fair. You see what I'm doing here? We're doing a presentation. We've put in there about Make.com pricing, so we really need one on N8N pricing. And then if we just go back one final time, let's just see something here that we can actually use. Integration, ecosystem, breadth, and you see Make.com. We don't want to use the Make review, complete automation. I think we put two more in, and I think we put this one in here because it's impartial. It's not Make.com. And we put the other one in from N8N, which was here. Browser React. Let's have a look. This will give you a good overview. So let's use this. So we put this in. And now we may see some of these fail. Occasionally some of them fail. Hopefully none of them do. None of them did. Sometimes they fail. If they do, you can delete it. You can go back to the source, copy the text, and put the text in by adding another source, which brings up that page again, and copy the text in if you need it, or download it as a PDF. That is completely up to you. But what we have now, and what's different from any other LLM, and what makes NotebookLM so special, is that when you're in a position of using it, you are actually only using the information that we have put in it. So those 6 individual URLs are the only sources that this is going to pull from. There's no web search. There's nothing else. It is literally just what's inside of our notebook here. So we know that the information that we've just gathered for our presentation is based off of information that we trust because we've just read the executive summary, and we can then go on and handle next steps. You can have a chat with this. You can have conversations, ask it to pull information. You can do all of those things. But where we really want to focus our attention is right here. And this is where all of these individual options become available to us, whether it be video, audio, which is a great feature, a podcast feature, data tables, infographics, slide deck. What we're going to do here, because it's a presentation, is we need to create a slide deck, obviously. So we have 2 options, detailed deck, presenter deck. We're doing a presentation, so we want presenter deck. A detailed deck is more if you were going to send something off or you wanted to read and educate yourself. That is what you would probably select. We're going to leave the length as default. And when it comes down to describing the slide quickly, I do have a quick prompt here, which is 2 sentences, 3 sentences. I think it's got a typo in it. Where's the typo? There. So we say create a deck for a presentation of direct comparison between N8N and Make.com, hyper-realistic imagery, etc. Beginner presentation, ultra-realistic imagery is critical. Let's generate this. So that deck is now being generated based off of 6 sources. You can see it. What I'm also going to do at the same time to showcase its power is I'm going to create an infographic, and I'm going to make it concise. And I'm going to say, please compare make.com and N8N with 5 bullet points on each. And we're going to hit generate. And now these decks are going to be, these two individual, one infographic, one slide deck / presentation is going to be produced. And whilst that's being created, because it will take a few moments, we're going to come inside of Perplexity and we're going to head to this little icon here. And this is effectively, it's a pro feature of Perplexity, but this allows you to create slide decks all the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, can you generate, let me just see, create a deck. Let's use the exact same prompt. It's fair that way. This is now going to create its own individual deck, and it's going to create a presentation based alongside it. Now, when it comes down to the output of these, you've seen them earlier in the video, but we're going to be able to compare them side by side at each one. Now, this is where Perplexity effectively fails. I could have get a better answer, but here we are. This is what was produced. Now, whilst NotebookLM's doing its thing, I'm going to come over to Perplexity and I'm going to show you the difference here, okay? So when it comes down to the options that we have available to us in Perplexity, if we tick this is a pro feature. You will have to be on the pro plan for it. But I'm going to give it the exact same prompt as what I gave the NotebookLM. And I'm going to fire that off. It's going to go through. You can see it's doing the same beautiful thing it did before, where it tells you that it's researching and analyzing these things. And it's creating us, you can see it in a code version here, it's creating us a presentation that is meant to be lovely. But we'll find out what it actually looks like when available. Both of the presentations are complete, and as you'll have seen in the intro, look at the difference in quality between the two. This is clean, but this looks like something that you could just, knock together like when you was in high school. There's no real, you won't want to get in front of a stage and speak to people presenting this. There's very minimal imagery. There's nothing really going on. Now compare that to this, which is the presentation deck that NotebookLM produced. And you look at this, the engine of modern work, the goal, moving data without lifting a finger. Meet the contenders, make the artists, N8N the architects. Beautiful graphs, beautiful everything. Everything is amazing. Look at that. The learning curve, it shows you that the learning curve is much prettier on Make, but in N8N, it takes you a few hours to climb that initial gap. It goes through pricing philosophies. It goes through everything. Why N8N is winning the AI race, agents, RAG native, vibe coding, right? All of these individual things, at a glance, simplicity, winner, make, app library, winner, make, cost at a glance, winner, 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 AI agents and privacy. We can see very clearly that there is a huge substantial difference between what is actually produced, and that was only done off of a very basic prompt that I gave it. But that's not the only cool thing that you can do inside of here. So guys, stop using ChatGPT, jump into Perplexity and NotebookLM. Seriously, it is incredibly powerful. We've just scratched the surface. Now, I actually have a video that goes through NotebookLM in detail, and it found 180k in lost revenue for my made-up business Peroni PPC. You need to watch that video here because it will seriously help you understand NotebookLM. My name is Michael Elliott. Like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.